So here we are at the wedge range. Tell us, how do you start your lessons typically?
Well, so with short game, there are two misses that we're really looking at. We're looking at either directional miss, which is going to be left or right, or there's going to be some problem with distance or maintaining a consistent distance. So we want to hit it 80 yards, but only go 60, or vice versa. So if we were going to work on yours, what do we need to work on?
Well, as a righty, when I tend to miss, it does tend to go to the right.
Okay.
And then on the other hand, if it's within 85, as you said, that 85 to 60 range, for me, it's the same club. So it's just kind of measuring that feel of how far do I bring it back.
Sure.
I might hit it a little too short or a little too far, depending on the range.
Okay.
So a little bit of both.
Okay. Well, let's get the right taken care of first, and then we can work on distance.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and hit a couple for me?
All right.
That's pretty good.
Well, that one.
You hit the pole.
Well, that one went
You're
straight.
cured.
This is the best lesson ever.
So there's a little bit of a right miss.
Yep.
A little.
So that
Not
one went
much.
right a little bit more.
A little bit. So really what's happening is, when you do miss right, and what I see with a lot of my students, a right miss for a right-hander is typically somebody's trying to add loft. So as we add loft into the club, we're trying, make sure that we hit it high, we'll instinctively kind of slide that hand under the grip a little bit, which does add loft to the club, but it also spins it out to the right. So I like to just try and have you stay really square with the right hand.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. So if you're staying square with the right hand and just let the loft of the club, get the ball up into the air and not worry about forcing it high, you'll hit a lot straighter. Like, that's really good.
That one felt really good.
Yeah, and actually we even got that one go a little bit left. So, but that was nice and square.
Yep.
Okay, so then distance control. So really all golf swings, whether they're from putter all the way to driver, there's some rate of acceleration in there, all right? So the golf ball is here, the club head is the object that hits the golf ball. So the greater the distance I give between club head and golf ball, I increase that rate of acceleration, so I'm gonna get a different distance. The shot will feel the same. I mean, your tempo, timing, rhythm, I want that to be consistent.
So don't try to slow it down.
No.
Too. Okay.
And if you find yourself if you find that you do just kind of hit the brakes or you decelerate a little bit, that's usually because the backswing's too long. You could shorten this up and then keep that same move and get a different result. So, if you were gonna hit one, let's say the red flag is 50 yards. So show me your 50-yard shot. How would you do that?
I think a little bit of what you said, I tried to not swing from back here, but just somewhere in the middle. Whoa.
Okay.
So
that's a good example of a miss too, where
still went right.
It still went right, but we lost contact. It was a little bit of a blade. And what happened was, your takeaway got all the way to here. Well, if you would really accelerate truly from this position, that ball's gonna go 85 yards.
It's gone.
So now I think we just try and keep it to, if you take your hands about to maybe hip high-ish, about there, and then turn through the shot, we should get a different, okay, better? So maybe a little bit longer from there. Good.
There it is.
Yeah. So now if we wanted to vary off of that, all we do is change the length of the backswing. So if all of a sudden we want to go to the green target out there, which I believe is 65 yards, we're just going to lengthen the backswing just a little bit more, but the move is the same. Tempo, timing, rhythm is all the same.
Oh, a little mishit again there.
But I was a little slow. Don't worry about swinging too fast. So keep your so when I say tempo, timing, rhythm, I mean keep whatever speed is natural to you. Keep it there, because when we shorten this, you know, it'll just automatically be going slower.
Okay.
Yeah, that's way better. Okay, so we're close.
Put a little bit more backswing on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the tempo and on that one, I definitely felt myself trying to slow down.
Right.
And ended up chunking it there.
Right. People make the mistake of trying to change distance by changing their speed. That's a good swing there. You know, they try and all of a sudden lose, I guess, you know, again, that rhythm is so important, because if we change that, what happens is we start to see mishits on the bottom. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move that ball back a little bit for you.
Okay.
There's your contact. That's much better. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
Okay. Perfect. That was really good. You know, and we touched on it a little bit, but that ball position, you know, relative to the stance is really important
So
too.
instead of here,
Right.
so you moved it back.
Yeah, move it back. I always want to have the ball, with wedges especially, I like to have them on your center, or on your midline or your spine. We rotate around our spine. The spine really shouldn't be moving left, right, up, down. So if we can just make a nice clean rotation there, if I can put the ball, you know, on that, you know, equal to where your spine is, typically I see contact really improve. There you go. And that's got a good sound to it.
Yeah, distance.
Yeah,
That was a good, clean feeling
Yeah.
in that swing.
that was a good one. So then change your target. So let's go to that orange one out there. So that's 85.
All right, 85. It's a little bit
Okay, so
more
now
of a swing.
Yep, so now you can see here though, now that ball's up, so move your body that way a little bit. There you go, now it's in the center. Good.
Okay.
Nice. That's perfect.
A little deep, but
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you may find that, I mean, as your contact, you know, the last few shots, the contact has been really, really good. It's been very crisp. So as the contact improves, you're probably going to pick up a little bit of distance. So you may have to recalibrate a little bit.
okay. So we kind of cleaned up my contact a little bit there. But what are some of the other issues you see from other golfers for the viewers at home?
Most of it is what we just worked on, trouble controlling distance. You know, as soon as it's not a full swing where, you know, max shoulder turn and then we just go, you know, as you work through your set, you know, that'll give you, you know, your 7-iron gives you a number, your 8-iron gives you a number, your 9 gives you a number. When we start backing off of full, you know, the key is really, really to learn where does this stop? And then, you know, allowing yourself to really rotate through and still finish. You know, people do, you know, really strange things when, you know, they're trying to make a golf ball go, but not make it go too far. And I think when you're out on the golf course, probably the bigger thing that factors in is fear. You know,
Yeah.
we're here and you're out playing for score, whether it's your friends or your leagues or a corporate outing or whatever. And, you know, all of a sudden now it's the pressure of hitting the shot. And these wedges where if you don't have a clear plan, you know, on these half wedges, you know, I know that, you know, this takeaway gives me X yardage. If you're out there just kind of flying blind, that's when you see bad shots.
So one of the first things to maybe learn about yourself as a golfer is your distance, not only on your, you know, the club, you know, this gives me X number, but when it's here, it gives me another
Absolutely.
X number and another X number.
Yep.
Do you have a certain, like, should I not use the same club for too many distances, or when should I club up or club down?
Well, I guess it'll depend on what you want the golf ball to do when it lands.
Okay.
If you need the golf ball to stop quickly, you know, we're going to get into something, you know, we're going to want to add a bunch of loft. So if you have a lob wedge where it's
Yeah.
going to hit it really high and it'll stop not only with spin, but also with trajectory. So it's going to come in steep and it's not going to roll out. So that would be like if you have a front pin or you don't have a lot of green to work with, you're going to want to use some loft there. If you have a back pin where you have a lot of green to work with, where you can land it anywhere you want on the green, you know, then you might want to loft down a little bit, make sure it lands somewhere on the green, and then can release back to the hole. So it really depends on the situation.
Okay. Well, I think I like what you've gone over here with me. I want to take some of these tips to the course. What do you say we get out there?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.